A lot of people don't like going to the doctor. I get it. The decades-old magazines in the waiting room, the awkward paper gowns, peeing in a tiny cup, it gets all over your hands. And then, of course, there's the days spent waiting for your results to see just how healthy or unhealthy you are, which can make anyone go crazy with nerves, except for our dear, wonderful president who seems to ace his physicals more and more the older he gets, like he's a goddamn Benjamin Button. Our 78-year-old president just had his annual physical, and his self-appointed doctor claims he is in excellent health and says that it is largely because of his, and just quote directly here, frequent victories in golf events. What? How dare you call yourself a real doctor? I honestly don't know if I have more choice words for the cultishly extreme dear leader vibes people are giving, or the golf events the president seems to have time for, between crashing the stock market and redecorating the White House with paintings of himself. But let's go with the golf because I feel spicy. I understand. Needing to work up a sweat, get your heart rate going. It's why I work out in a dark room, listening to EDM every day. Truly, my workout could give you an aneurysm if you're not careful. But I don't ask taxpayers to pay for it. Each time the president goes to one of his own golf courses free golf weekend, it costs taxpayers $3.4 million per trip. And so far in his presidency, he has golfed 11 times. That is over $30 million spent so that he can wear his tight little pants and play his little putt-putt while his followers clap for him and fawn over every swing. Enough! Which taxes do I get to withhold if I don't want to pay for those trips? Well, you know what his doctor says, as long as it's keeping him healthy. This is Choice Words. I'm Samantha Bee. My guest this week is such a fun person to talk to, whether it's about fashion or theater or politics, because he's had his hand in it all. Isaac Mizrahi. We talked while he was literally in the belly of the beast and was doing the costumes for a performance at the Kennedy Center, of all places. So take a listen and make good choices.
Hi. I'm in this crazy hotel room in D.C. I'm just telling you.
What?
Yes.
Wait, why are you in D.C.? You're in the belly of the beast.
I mean it, baby.
What?
You know what? And tonight I'm going straight to the beast. I've designed these costumes for this dance show, Mark Morris, which is premiering at the Kennedy fucking Center. At the Eisenhower Theater of the Kennedy Center, okay?
Oh my God.
I know.
Please tell me about that. Tell me about every moment of this journey.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. You know, the commission came from the Kennedy Foundation a minute ago, like a year ago, whenever that was. Mark Morris, the great genius, the great MacArthur, fabulous genius. And we're very good friends and we're collaborators for years. And he got the commission and it was somehow like a celebration of some anniversary of the Kennedy initiative, the space initiative, right? Like we landed on the moon and it's like some fabulous thing. And it was about JFK kind of really, aggressively going after that. Yeah. And so they decided they were going to celebrate it. And then, so of course they accepted the commission and Mark made up this crazy piece, which is so gorgeous. 2 months ago when they announced the whole scary takeover of the Kennedy Center, I called my friend who runs his company, Nancy. I was like, hey, Nancy, like what's going to happen? And she was like, no, it's art, darling. You can't let people stop you from making art, right?
Right.
And I think she's right. I do. I think she's right about that. I gave it a lot of thought and I saw Jeffrey Seller, who he is, right? The producer of Hamilton.
Yep.
He posted that thing where they're not going to show Hamilton at the Kennedy Center, which I completely understood. I called Nancy again. I was like, hey, Nancy, did you see Jeffrey's post? And she was like, I did, but that's a whole other thing because it's a commercial thing and it's Hamilton and blah, blah. This is like not the same thing. We have partners. It's a commission from the Kennedys and blah, blah, blah. So we're holding firm and we're going to have the show and we're going to do it. And tonight is the opening night. So here I am in DC.
Oh God, this is so exciting. The turmoil over there.
I know, girl.
Okay, because you know when you are in DC, how it takes on the flavor of whoever's in power.
Of course.
What is the flavor of
the flavor
streets?
Is panic.
Yeah.
The flavor is like a strident sort of like a acidy flavor. Okay. It's not a good flavor, darling. It's not strawberry. Let's put it that way. It's not tasty. It's not a tasty treat. It's not a tasty treat. I feel a little bit strange here. I always liked DC a lot.
Right.
It's so beautiful, like, you know, driving up that main street, whatever that is, looking at the Capitol building and looking at whatever that obelisk is called. What is that thing, that giant phallus that just, I don't know what it's
DC phallus.
The DC phallus.
Beautiful.
And by the way, every other building, I'm like, is that the Pentagon? Because I think everything's the Pentagon. And also every noise that I hear, like I don't know what it was. There were all these helicopters coming in and out last night. I was like, oh shit.
Oh God.
Can I be in Bridgehampton? Can I be in like safe little New York City? Do I have to be here for all this?
I know, every car that backfires, you're like, there's a shoot, there's gunfire.
Exactly. Oh my God.
You know what will be great about it is that, like, it's like you have to take each thing as it comes and just go like, I can only grapple with this one thing right now.
I know.
So we have this beautiful performance.
Yes.
People have bought their tickets. Mark Morris is incredible. The costumes are beautiful.
They are. It is beautiful.
Like the theme is
the projections.
correct.
My friend Wendell Harrington, darling, she made these projections for the show that are so beautiful, really. And the lighting's beautiful. And it's the incredible Colin who's playing the piano. It's so beautiful. It's going to be really beautiful. In the meantime, you know what I have planned for the curtain call? Now, don't tell anyone.
Oh, I won't tell a soul.
Because I think I might just be wearing a Lincoln Project t-shirt under my jacket. What do you like? With my jacket. What do you think? Is it?
Definitely do it.
Will I get on some list? Okay, I'm doing it.
You know what? You're already on the list.
It's too late.
You're on all the lists. It's
darling,
too late.
It's too late.
We're both on the list.
We're so on the list. Meet me in the cage at the Mexican border. I'll meet you in the cage at the Mexican border.
We're scheduled for removal in the nighttime. Knock on the door.
I know.
It is so scary out there. Oh my God. I was just saying that I can't even open my phone. Like, I can't even do my habitual activity.
I know.
Of, what's the front page of the New York Times? What's the front page of the New York Times? What's the front page? It's actually terrifying. The image. I know. And it's just one image of like the stock market.
I know. And by the way, it's like, you know, I don't know how he just goes, hey, I'm going to just make these tariffs happen. And everybody goes, okay, like, aren't there Congress people? Aren't there senators? Aren't there people who go, no, whoa, you need to get an approval for this. And then you think, what is he doing? You know, Samantha, I think you know, because you are so much savvier than me, right?
I don't think so, but thank you.
You don't know. I think, don't you think there's some master plan? He can't just be doing this because he wants to. He's doing it so something will happen, like the world will come to an end and he will be able to be like emperor for the rest of eternity or something.
Definitely there's like a king. There's like, he wants to be the king of the world, 100%. Like, definitely sees himself like, when he watched like Game of Thrones, he definitely did not get the message and just was like, I love that chair. I love that throne.
Right. Nice.
It's made of gold. That
nice
would be
crown that
better.
guy has on. Yeah, exactly.
And you know, it's funny because I don't know, like, he's so right? Like, he's so just like instinctive, like an animal.
Yes.
An animal instinct for like attention, a sponge for attention. And I just don't think he has a master plan for anything.
No.
We used to call him.
Oh, really?
And one of our great writers, I think it was Joe Grossman, coined the phrase Casino Mussolini for him.
Right.
And I'm like, it's perfect.
It's brilliant.
It's the most perfect. And I've got to bring it back into regular rotation because this is just like, it's casino time.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's Mussolini. He's like, I'm taller, though.
Okay,
taller than Mussolini.
All right, so
I'm cooler.
he is Casino Mussolini or just chaos incarnated, right?
Chaos.
But doesn't he have people around him that go, hey, wait a minute, or that are even more powerful than him? You know, like, and I'm not even talking about like Elon. I'm talking about like just people behind the puppet of Trump? Like,
I
aren't
think
there
so.
people who go, whoa, if you do that, I'm going to lose $3 billion? Because they are losing $3 billion every
Oh,
minute now.
every
These rich
second.
people that put him there are, I think they're losing all this money. So don't they go, hey, wait a minute, darling, stop, or we're going to do this. Like they don't do that. You know what I'm asking, right?
I do know what you're asking. And I wish that I thought that that was true. But I actually think that everyone's really in a state of paralysis. Well, I don't know. No one invites me to the conversation. I'm on the list. They're like, get out. My perception is that he takes the counsel of no one. And actually, since we're talking about the Kennedy Center, I've been telling everybody, and I really do believe this. I really believe this in my heart. I think he like eats a bunch of fries or like a hamburger, goes to bed, has meat dreams, like has meat mares. Do you know what I mean?
Meat mares. Oh my God. If anyone knows, that is a real thing. Meat mares. Go on. Yeah.
And dreams up all these like fantasy things and then just enacts them in the morning and then just goes, you know what I am going to do? I'm going to take over the Kennedy Center. I'm going to rename it the Trump Center for the Performing Arts. And it's going to make everybody so mad.
Right. But why? Like, what is the
go,
instinct? It's just pure evil, just pure evil. There's not one brain cell that goes, wait, but because what I'm saying to you is like, I think it's even more evil than you're saying chaos. And there was that incredible, remember that when he was out of office, there was that one kind of aide, or it was like the head of something there and he was working for Trump and he said, no, you know what? The only thought he has is, a cheeseburger and pussy or a blowjob, whatever it is. Like that's all the man thinks about. Literally. I mean, and that's what he said. Yeah.
And vengeance, like revenge.
Right.
Like
revenge.
Getting revenge on his enemies. And he had a real score to settle with the Kennedy Center.
Did he?
Yes.
What was it? Could you explain it to me?
Yes, because when he was first president, they were giving out like those honors, those presidential medal of freedom. I don't remember.
No, the presidential medals of honor.
Right. And all of these performers said, fuck you. I'm not getting a medal from you. I dislike. And they gave speeches about how they were giving their medals back. They didn't even want them. They weren't going to attend.
That's what he obsesses about.
Revenge and good television.
Right. But about the stock market thing, because it's these crazy, it's not just it's like an insane, crazy thing that he knows, like anybody, even the stupidest person in the world knows that it's going to tank everything and maybe even cause, like, God forbid, a run on the banks, I mean, like, no, darling, everybody's going, oh, recession. I'm going, bread lines, Dust Bowl. Like, I'm serious. Everything that the Roosevelts created between, the Dust Bowls and bread lines to the end of World War II and the beginning of, like, the massive superpower that America was, which they created, he is just taking apart completely. And we are going to go back to that. Everyone goes, oh, we're going to go back to the 50s when women and homosexuals, darling. We're going back to like the teens. We're going back to pre-World War I when this country was just chaos, complete, utter chaos,
We already went back to Spanish flu.
Yeah, right.
Pre-1918. I don't know. Well, you know what? It was a little fashion debate we were having just before you hopped on.
Oh, come on. Are you trying to make this relevant? Go on. Yeah.
No. Right. Do you think Democrats will ever be able to wear red hats again?
Oh my God. Or anything red.
Or
or red bow ties or red things. I know.
Oh, no, you can't wear anything red.
You really can't. Banish the red, darling.
Banish the red. We can't do it. Maybe keep it in the tomato family, like a tomato red, maybe?
Or like an orange, a pink,
red.
Bright pink.
If you have shopped online, chances are you've bought from a business powered by Shopify. Oh boy, I literally just pre-ordered the most beautiful t-shirt yesterday, and there was that Shopify, and it made it so easy. The purple Shop Pay button you see at checkout? The one that makes buying so incredibly easy, that's it. That's Shopify. And there's a reason so many businesses sell with it. Because Shopify doesn't just make amazing buying experiences for customers, they're also the experts in helping small businesses grow big. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. Shopify helps business owners tackle all their important tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics and more. Shopify also makes the marketing minefield easy with built-in tools for running social media and email campaigns so you can find new customers and keep them. And if you're looking to grow your business internationally, Shopify has global selling tools in over 150 countries. In person, more your thing? Shopify's award-winning point of sale connects your online and offline sales in the same place. With 99.99% uptime and the best converting checkout on the planet, you'll never miss a sale again. Only with Shopify. And did I mention that iconic purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world? It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Your customers already love it. Stop seeing carts going abandoned and turn those sales into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Samb. Go to shopify.com/Samb. Shopify.com/Samb. I mean, now this is like the second time that I've talked to you recently. Last time we just met doing the Daily Beast podcast recently, and it was such a fun conversation.
So
and I
fun.
love Joanna.
I love Joanna.
I love that you don't shy away from politics.
No.
I actually really love it.
I swear to God, last night I was thinking about this as I was not sleeping here at this little hotel in DC, right?
Of course.
Because I'm thinking, what's coming tomorrow? And I was thinking, well, don't be afraid of the future. Don't be afraid. And now is not the time to not speak of this. And I will tell you this, my Instagram is not a political thing. I never did it for that reason.
Right.
And now I sort of hate myself that it's not, because I do these posts about toasters. I do these posts about recipes and, pictures of clothes from my archives. And it's pretty funny.
Right.
People really like my Instagram account, but it's not political. I haven't seen your Instagram account. Is it political?
Not really. I mean,
Right.
It's mostly just sharing clips and stuff. I'm just not a super active. I use it kind of for business, and I don't really go on it that much.
Me too.
I was like, I can't give these guys my attention anymore.
No, I know.
Can't.
And also, by the way, I don't know how. I follow this incredible guy he's an incredible interior decorator. His name is Jamie Andrews, I think, or Jamie Andrew. He's such a doll, and he's cute himself. He's really good looking. He was turned out, and his brooms are beautiful, but he does these incredible stories where it's all these clips from political places, like from the Midas Touch and this and that, and all these amazing political things. And I go how do you, wouldn't know how to do all those clips. I don't know how to do clips. I don't know how to be political in that way. But last night, as I was lying here, I was like, no, you know what? If the opportunity arises for you to speak, of course you're going to speak,
Right. I mean, and there can be, I guess, how do you balance? Because there can be a cost to that. There can be a cost to that, to your business life. And do you feel like you just have to be do you think that you weigh the authentic self? You have to be yourself in this moment. Is that what you're weighing more, giving more precedence to?
I have to tell you what it is, because I've been doing shows around the country. I do these really good shows with my band. And I know that sounds crazy, but I do.
We are talking about that.
We should talk about it. But the point is, it's different when you're in New York City at the Carlisle, or in Long Island in a big arena, whatever it is, than when you're in Naples, Florida. You don't know what to say. I was really scared. I was booked in there a couple of weeks ago. I did 2 shows in Naples and 2 shows in Palm Beach. Palm Beach, right down the block from, the Mar-a-Lago. And it was a little scary, but as a comic, right, you feel the audience, you understand what they will tolerate immediately. And you have 3 detractors and the rest are with you. You know. And so when I started those shows in Naples, I was scared out of my wits. But the minute I started, I start with this. I start with hey, what the fuck is going on out there? And it really is a funny line. And everybody just loved it. And they literally like started to clap, And I knew, I'm among friends, right? And so like thinking about that and what you said about business and blah, blah, darling, I think business right now, what is business? He's tanking everything. Who's buying it? You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to alienate people. And even the people that voted for him are going, what the fuck? Yeah. So when you go, what the fuck, everybody? And, and the jokes I tell are not exactly, I talk about this thing I made up called Trump eating. I Trump eating, like he comes on TV and I just start to eat because something has to feel good, right?
Yeah.
It's like, or whatever, that woman, the press secretary, and somehow a pizza arrives and I don't know how that happens, But anyway, the point is, and I can't fit into clothes and I'm Spanxed up to the teeth or whatever, right?
Sure.
And so, and they love it because I'm not saying anything about him. I'm just saying, I can't watch this. I can't watch it,
Yes. Do you ever double Spanx? Have you double Spanx? Do you know what?
Totally. Are you kidding me? Double Spanx.
I never even knew that people did that until like just a few years ago. And they were like, well, I'm double Spanx, so I can't go to the bathroom. I'm like, well, what?
By the way, darling, can I just tell you something? Male genitalia and double spanxing, not a fun thing, let me tell you.
Uncomfortable.
And it's uncomfortable and you show nothing. It's like you're a eunuch. Like, where'd it go? Where'd your I usually have like a little package. I like to show a package, a little package.
Of course.
Speaking of fashion.
I'm here.
I got it, baby. I got it. When you got it, but this totally holds your junk in this way that it is literally.
Well, it's Ken doll. That's like
Total Ken doll.
You're putting a sheen. You're making it like plastic.
Absolutely. And by the way, when you Spanx,
yes,
it has to go somewhere. So it all goes up to this. It goes up and you kind of float like a balloon in the parade, like the Macy's parade. Seriously. Right? A little bit.
You become like a bag of potato chips on an airplane, I think.
Or like moisturizer that you open and it just explodes. It has to go somewhere.
You can't even put like a pinprick in that Spanx it's all coming out like silly string.
Exactly. Nice one. Silly string. Nice image.
Tell me about your live show. So when you do that, do you create the show once you book the dates, or is this or are you creating a show and then you go, okay, I'm ready to perform it? Like, what is your process?
Well, it's an ongoing thing. I've been doing it for so many years. Even when I wasn't doing it, I was doing it. Performing Arts High School. I'm an old ham. I was trained as an actor. Yeah.
You went to LaGuardia. My daughter went to LaGuardia.
Well, wait a minute. It was called LaGuardia when your daughter, it is called LaGuardia. When I went, darling, it was called Performing Arts High School. It was on 46th Street. Okay. Now it's behind Lincoln Center. It was literally in the midst of the squalor of Times Square. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And in the 1970s, like when I went, 1976, 1978, whatever those years were. But so I was doing, I've always performed. I before I did anything, I was a female in person. I did, like when I was 7 years old, I was doing Shirley Bassey in my driveway for anybody who would, I'm not kidding.
That's amazing.
This was, by the way, Samantha, this was not a source of pride for like the Mizrahi family in the 70s in Brooklyn. Just you can imagine the shame.
Like, tone it down just, can you do that on the inside?
No, it's like, get the fuck inside the house. I don't know what you're doing out there. Get in here. But yeah, show business in me, I'm always like so terrified. That's why I have such horrible anxiety about, being on stage, but I conquer it because I think it's what I was meant to do, So anyway, so saying that, I get into these songs. I have this band that I've been working with since 1996 or something like that, really. And, this one musical director, Ben Walter, who's God, I call him God. We work on this music together with this band that I've worked with since literally 2000, 96. And then, and I work on the songs together and they're also cute, and I always want to make cute men laugh. And so, like, I write jokes. I write a lot of jokes, and then it becomes this show. And I do the show, and then, of course, when I'm in front of people, I just start talking about shit I'm not supposed to talk about.
Of course, you got to get in trouble. There's something magic. There is something magical. It's not like you prepare so that you can be a little bit unprepared, so that you can be a little on the fly. But it's all there. So if all you do is the show, it's still good.
Exactly. Yes. And by the way, like when you don't know what to do, in the case of when you have this amazing band, you go, let's go to the next number, shall we? And it's perfect. What a segue,
Right.
Yeah.
Are you in awe of musicians like in that way. Like I really
totally.
am. I bow down to them when they can just play anything. And
Me too.
They can just follow. They can improvise musically. Is like that's next level to me.
I mean, I was a musician. I took piano lessons for 15 years. I could play piano including Bach, including, all of it, right? Chopin and Bartok and everything. And I sucked, but I was good enough so I could sit down and people were like, wow, right? And so I can read music, but I can't understand the download of like a jazz musician or a musician who can just literally look at a sheet music and go, yep, or chart and they figure, could you do it a little faster? And yes, they can. And it's like, they're sight reading and they can do it faster. Yeah,
they can do it faster, and they can add a whole thing, and they can do it in a different style.
It's shocking, and they can transpose. They can transpose the key if you want a different. Can we just bring that up half a step? Yep, they can do that. I know.
What?
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Well, if a part of you is afraid to be on stage, what is your ritual for being on stage? Like, do you have something that you do that gets you in the mindset, or is it just the audience itself that gets you where you need to be?
Okay, don't take this the wrong way.
No.
Samantha Bee.
I won't.
I have a drink before I go. I mean, this does not hurt.
Nice.
Seriously.
Tell me what it is.
And let me tell you, I was always against that. Like as a performer, performing arts high school, you go, you breathe, you do whatever you have to do. And I know how to do it, but then I started working with some jazz musicians who go, yeah, you have some bourbon around? Because I will, right?
Right.
And so I started, I'm such a fucking pussy. I have like a rosé spritzer and I'm 3 sheets to the wind, So I have a rosé spritzer in advance. And then I have a rosé spritzer usually with me on stage, So that helps. But also, I don't know if you know this, I was really good friends with Liza Minnelli for years, right?
Yes,
and she was a big inspiration. I mean, she is, by the way, I'm not in that documentary. Okay.
Oh, you're okay.
I'm not. Okay. So I don't know how they did it without me, but they did.
Well,
okay.
Fine.
We will watch it. We will watch it when it streams. Okay. Yes. We're not going to the movie theater. But anyway, so I watched her, and she just, you learn a lesson. Like when you see her backstage and then you watch her walk on stage as though it's a party of people that adores her, She's just able to do that. And she walks on at Radio City, 6 million people, it was literally 8,000 people or something, as if she is walking into the sitting room with her dogs and her husband or something,
Right.
And she's just so relaxed. And then the love that she gets,
Right.
So here's the thing. So in my case, it's literally like the mortification of you're praying to God even though I don't believe in God. And then you walk on pretending you're Liza. Yeah. And then within seconds, they love you. And you're like, oh, hi guys. I love you,
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what it's like. That's
so
what
funny.
It's like for me.
I was talking to a musician recently who was saying that. Oh, I think it was Nico. I think it was Nico Case who was just saying there's and she's.
Honey, she is.
Ooh, you got to read her You got to read her memoir.
I will.
Is unbelievable.
I can't wait. Thank you. I need a book. Oh. I was gonna start Graydon Carter's memoir because that's also probably
probably great.
That's really great. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Nika Case and Graydon Carter.
And
I know.
We had a whole conversation about how it's like the dark night of the soul, exactly 30 minutes before any performance. Where you're just like, I made the worst choices.
Yep.
Why did I pick this career?
Why? I know. And why did I say yes to this night?
Why did I bring this? I brought this on myself. And she was like, actually, that's the place. It was very interesting talking to her about it because I've never heard it said this way before. She was like, that is actually the danger zone and why so many musicians are like addicts because of that. It's to get through that darkness of that final half hour between sound check and show is like this black hole.
Yeah, that's the time. Yeah. And then as you get closer to it it gets like a little worse, and then it starts getting a little, not exactly easier. And then, I'm sorry to be so gay, but you know that incredible Judy Garland movie called I Could Go On Singing?
Yes.
Where she, with Dirk Bogarde and the little kid and everything. And there's she plays a singer. And there's a scene where she's like backstage waiting for her music cue. Yeah. And she is kicking her legs and she is so excited and she's so into it. And that's kind of the way you feel like right before you go on.
Yes, right before. And then the audience meets you and you're like, I never left anything more.
Of course. This is why, darling. Thank you, God, again. Thank you, God, who I don't believe in. One more time.
Oh my God. Do you ever think about, I don't know. Here's a question for you. Do you think about recording it?
Yes.
Making it into,
yes.
Are you?
Occasionally I start talking to people, but then yes, we are always talking to people and pitching things,
Right.
And I think it will get done. I really do, because I don't think there would be a better series in the world of me just on a plane. It's like, by the way, the other time I pray to God that I don't believe in is right when a plane is taking off or landing. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I hate a plane so much. Is there anything worse than a plane?
And you travel so much.
I know. And so do you.
Much.
And wait a minute. Here's what's worse than a plane: an airport. There's nothing worse than an airport, right? Because it's like that black hole of the soul before you get on the plane, right? Yeah.
It is the most unpleasant sensation in the world. And you know what was so funny? Because I do, I tour around a little bit, not a lot, because I enjoy my quality of life. And I like meeting audiences, but I don't like the in-between part where I'm in an airport, going to places.
Oh,
and
God.
I remember not too long ago, one of the New York airports had a whole campaign and they were like, just come shopping here. And yourself do all your Christmas shopping.
Really?
So you could get a special pass for the airport and without a plane ticket. And they would let you into the shopping concourse. I was like,
wow.
Not one person.
For a second, okay? Not for a minute.
This is actually the worst ad campaign I've ever seen, other than, remember when Trident released coffee-flavored gum?
Oh, gross.
Cappuccino
but wait a second.
Trident.
No, you know what? It was an idea. It was just a bad idea. But wait a second. But darling, because when I was a little tiny kid and they just opened that pavilion, the TWA pavilion, which is now a hotel at JFK, my mother used to take us there for lunch because it was like a great place to go for lunch. And it was Saarinen, there was this architecture aspect to it. So, it was a cultural thing.
Yes.
That was fun. And I will tell you, the other thing was, I remember Cindy Crawford. Remember the great, who she is, right? The great. She was a supermodel. And in those days, those girls used to fly around the world 3 times a week, right?
Yeah.
And she would say to me, are you kidding? I love a flight. I am in the air. And that was the time before self. This was the 90s. And she would say, no one can reach me.
Okay.
I am literally above all of the problems that wait below on Earth. And I thought that was an interesting perspective, except, for me, I'm just, please, where are my problems? I need them back,
I don't want to zone out. I
don't want to zone out.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster, and it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. When I was looking to hire someone, it was really slow and actually quite overwhelming. I wish I had used Indeed. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. How fast is Indeed? In the minute I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Join the 3.5 million employers worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of the show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/SamB. Just go to Indeed.com/SamB right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/SamB. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed. is all you need. Okay, in 1995, you released a documentary about your 1994 season.
Yes.
It's called Unzipped, and it was just re-released at Sundance.
I know.
30th anniversary. What made you consider that? What made you re-release it?
Well, I mean, because it's 30 years old. I can't believe I'm that old. And also because, everybody was interested. All the creators of that documentary were interested. And I think Sundance was interested because it won an award at Sundance. So I think they were interested in bringing back whatever aspects they could. And it was the first one, like everybody goes, oh, this fashion documentary, that fashion documentary. Excuse me? Fashion documentary before 1995 was an oxymoron, you know? I remember having like meetings with agents and them going like, what? We were trying to get it made and trying to get it distributed, and they were like, excuse me. And then, of course, it was submitted to Sundance by Nina Santisi, who's a genius, She submitted it to them, and they accepted it, and the rest is history. Everybody loved it. It had this release. It was a huge... I was at a dinner party, get this, at Anna Wintour's house, like in 1997 when it was out. And you had the fabulous Joan Didion and her husband, right? Like John Gregory Dunn, right? Sitting at the table with me going, you. And I'm like, me? You're talking to me? Like, and she was like, your movie is so amazing. We just went to this screening in West Hollywood. It was packed in the middle of the day on a Wednesday. And I was like, are you talking to me? So like that just happened. I know. It was crazy. People said that to me,
Wow. There's just very few people who are so iconic that so many people, like literally so many people know who you are.
Oh, well, darling.
Like Brooke Shields. When you talk to Brooke Shields, you're like, oh my God, I'm talking to someone who everybody knows you. And I wonder, what is that like? Are you walking into places still and people are like, it's Isaac, I know you.
Sure, absolutely. Like we were at dinner last night in Washington and some adorable woman came up and started talking to me. Oh, I love you so much. You're such an inspiration, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like it. It's very sweet,
Yeah.
You make an effort, right? And I learned this really, really early on, when you're with other celebrities and they're like, leave me alone. I don't want you to talk to you. Leave me alone. And you're like, what are you crazy? Like this person is telling you that your work affected them. And by the way, like I was texting with RuPaul this morning and I texted him this thing and I was like, I don't want to blow smoke up your butt, but if I didn't have RuPaul Drag Race right now, I would literally be, it's saving me, it's saving me. And I thought, should I send this to him? Like, do you really think? And I sent it to him and you know what? She wrote, thank you. Thank you so much with an emoji. Thank you emoji, right?
100%. So,
but I think you have to tell people that they mean something,
I think that's great. That's a great way to see it. And I do think that you're right because it always means something. I don't know. It always means something to me. If something you do touches someone else's life, it's sort of hard to learn how to take that compliment, but then once you learn how to take it, it's very simple. It's actually a beautiful transaction.
And while it's happening, it's a little awkward, but then there was this woman who I was talking to yesterday. I was doing an interview and she said, oh, I had this really bad accident and I was on my back for, months and I couldn't move. And you were on QVC and I would tune in for your shows on QVC because I love you and we have such a lot of common. And I felt like you were with me and I had like this crazy Jewish aunt on the television with me, And I thought, that's so sweet, man. That is like, that's life. That's really what you live for, right? To affect others.
It's very affirming.
Yeah.
It's very affirming. Well, so Drag Race is getting you through. What else is what actually is, but you know what? I was like, this is so random, but I listened to a podcast the other day about Shen Yun, that dance troupe.
My
and I was
favorite show.
I was like, oh my God, like that 30 minutes of information about the origins of Shen Yun. I was like, I feel like I had a 2-week Caribbean vacation.
That's hilarious.
Even just 30 minutes.
It's a crazy, you have to be careful of Shen Yun. I mean, because it is the greatest show. If you like synchronized dancing, which I do, right? And you like the most ridiculous rear projected bullshit. You will not believe the projections, darling. They are so great. And just, I'm not exactly sure what the message of Shen Yun is. If I really knew what the message was, it's like a Scientology thing. You have to like tread lightly, maybe. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's simple. But I think there's a deeply religious message about Shen Yun. But if you can overlook that, go see that show because it's divine. Okay.
And then I was talking to someone else and they were like, the things that I seek now, and I think that this is also a great point. What I seek now, and it doesn't really matter what the venue is just excellence. Like, show me something excellent. Show me competence. Show me expertise. Show me something well executed, like a TV show or like a drag race. Like, show me.
Yes, drag race, darling. Drag race. Show me a drag queen, and I'm just the happiest.
Okay, do you regret? I mean, did you ever you regret never getting into drag?
Oh, I so regret. It is a little late for me. I mean, it's a little late for me to do drag.
Yeah.
I don't think it's late in life to do anything, but for me personally, it would be a little late to do drag. Okay. And I swear to God, like if tomorrow morning I thought, you should start transitioning, I would go on that journey tomorrow. Okay. But for some reason, the drag thing, it's too late because I do not think of myself as that sort of object. I am not the object of clothing. I basically just get dressed in things that people won't notice, so they will listen to what I'm saying or notice my head or something. You know what I mean? I don't know what I want them to notice, but you see what I mean? It's not really, I'm never going to be a beautiful drag queen or even a crazy, hilarious looking, ugly drag queen.
I think I understand what you're saying. So what is your uniform? What is your uniform now? What is your uniform for these
Well,
times?
like ever. I mean, I wear black. I have these black t-shirts made and I have black polo shirts made because nothing fits me. And so I have these, the ones that I had made just constantly being made. I have like these pants that I have 1,000 pairs of made and the stretchy stuff that I make for QVC called 24/7 Stretch, which is so amazing. And no, you should go online and get a pair because they're incredible. I mean, they really are, and they wash beautifully. Okay, stop.
Oh my God.
I wear those. And then of course I have, $12,000 suits that I wear once and that are so tight on me right now. And it's tragic. It's tragic. And I have 25 of them.
Yeah. What is your archive? What is your personal
Don't ask. And by the way, those are the ones that I don't have in storage that don't fit.
You have storage.
Several.
Okay.
Several storage spaces. And by the way, I have a huge archive of my samples that I made from like the 90s, all the women's clothes, which a lot of it is on sale right now. So it's called Isaac Mizrahi Archive, and you can log on. And it's actually just, even if nothing will fit you, because a lot of it is made for, Shalom Harlow in the 90s and Kate Moss.
Sure.
So those actual original samples are made to be this big. But there are dresses that are, 8s and 10s and things. But I will tell you, like, no matter what, it's just really fun to look at all those clothes.
Oh, I gotta look. I gotta go because my daughter's actually in fashion. She's at FIT. And so she will love that. Like, that's why I've kept so many old, like so many beautifully constructed like blazers and like things with beautiful shoulder. Cause I'm like, one day she doesn't want to wear it in its like original form, which I wore once and is now just sitting in a garment bag, but she will appreciate the construction and the embroidery or like all the detail and how.
And how old is she? You said already,
19.
but 19.
Yeah,
okay,
19.
19.
She's
Wow, that's a
19.
great age.
It's a great age.
What a great age.
Is it true that you're working on a novel?
I am working on a novel.
What's
oh my
that about?
God.
You do everything.
Jesus. Well, you know what? I wrote a memoir, right? And that was published in 2016 or something, or 2017. And the minute I handed that in, I was mortified. I was like, what will I do with my life now? When you get into writing something, again, it's like the dark hole of the world where you're like, what is wrong with me? Why did I take the job to write this?
Right.
And then you start and it's like, excuse me, this is the most incredible form of art and meditation and life affirming when you actually get a sentence that is not the biggest bore in the world. It's really gratifying. And so like I had this idea literally, I don't know how long ago, darling, 40 years ago. Okay. And so I just started writing it. It took a shape. Right. And so I started writing it and I think it's hopefully going to go out into the marketplace. It's still not, there's no publisher involved. So who knows if it'll ever be published, but it should be because it's really good. It's really,
God, I
really
love
good.
that. You're so creative in so many different areas, in so many different like regions of the brain, really. What do you
Mm.
think I mean, sometimes when we have a really when we are under well, we've never been in a regime quite like this one,
Oh.
but when there is a regime feeling in the air, when people feel
Mhm.
stifled, when people are under attack, although again, this is pretty unprecedented, the level,
Mhm.
that can creativity can flourish in those
Yes, yes,
conditions.
yes, yes, yes.
What do you think about that? What do you
Well,
think about yeah.
I mean, the hilarious Stephen Colbert, right? Is there anyone
Yes.
more hilarious or better than Stephen Colbert, right?
Yep, he's the best.
He's the best. And he said this really great thing. I don't know if you saw this. There was a clip of him going, "Oh, well, my friends tell me in this time of this crazy, crazy, it's great because it's such it's replete with comedy.
Right.
It's there for the picking. All you have to do is like pick it off and it's all that to do." And he said, "Yeah, but that's like saying to a janitor, look how many toilets with shit there are to clean up." You know what I mean? And I thought that was just the most
Oh,
brilliant way of putting it,
that is brilliant.
Yeah.
There is something about like playwriting and novel writing.
Oh,
Like it
yes.
does
I know,
feel like
darling.
people
I
are going
know.
to dig so deep
Yes.
to or
Mhm.
somehow rise out of
Or,
this.
darling, or comedy. Hello. Hi.
Comedy. Hi.
Have you met Samantha Bee?
Hello. Right
Have you met
here.
Samantha Bee? By the way, where's your damn
Where's
whatever?
my
Where's your
damn I
damn
know.
show? Where's your damn?
Yeah.
Always say that about you. I always say, like, if she was a man, she would be,
Oh,
whatever. Of course.
I would actually be
Yes,
still
you
on
would
TV.
be. I don't know what you would be doing. You would be hosting the Oscars.
Oh yeah, there's no question. And I don't
Oh,
really,
no. Yeah.
like I don't like to lean into those things if I don't have to, but I'm in this case I'm like, "Oh no, 100%." Like I would still be on. He will be like, "What else can we give her? What else can we give him?" The
What
man,
else? By the
Samantha
way,
Bee.
you are so incredibly good at that. So just hang in there or something.
I know. Listen,
This is good. This is good. This is good.
I go
This
with the
podcast is really
flow.
good.
I go with the flow. And I'm
Yes.
writing
Me
and I'm
too.
doing stuff and like
Yeah.
always, once you have a creativity, once you are developed, well, if that's your thing, which is your thing, like
Yes, it
you're
is.
just you're always doing something. You
You
can't,
have to.
you have to.
You have to. You have to. You have
It
to.
keeps it keeps the blood flow in the brain. It keeps you alive.
And everyone's always trying to teach you that lesson. It's not about blah, blah, blah. It's not about this. It's not about
Right.
that. It's kind of about that. It really is. We're all born with a creative ego. That's what makes us work.
Right.
And in the end, we don't need the result. We just need the
Right.
work. But every once in a while, darling, you need a little result.
Well, you need a little result.
Yes, you need a little result, or else
Yeah.
you can't keep working. Somebody's got to buy it, or you can't keep working. Yeah.
But like the affirmation doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be enough to kind of like keep you going. Just keep you going. It's
Yes.
true. It's true.
Yes. Yes.
I know that you love a good cashmere shawl. I know
I
that you
do love a good cashmere shawl.
Loro Piana.
Well, here it is, darling. It's never far away when
Never
I'm in
far
my
away.
when I'm in my hotel. It's never far away.
Does
It's
it
my
bother you?
blanket.
Does it bother you that Loro Piana is now the favorite brand of all these tech jerks?
No.
You're Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, Lord.
I know.
It bothers me, but what am I supposed to do?
You still
I
have to
need my
swaddle
cashmere,
yourself.
honey. I need my cashmere. We all need cashmere.
We need to swaddle.
Yes,
we need to
darling,
swaddle
we
ourselves.
We swaddle.
Oh my goodness.
I did this post online where I
Yeah.
couldn't really say anything. I was like talking. I was in a car on my way from Phoenix to Seattle or something,
Oh God.
and I had this shawl and I was like, oh, I can't. I just this is what I feel shawly. I feel shawlish.
There's this artist like a knitwear artist, and I think she's like more of a conceptual artist. Her name is Bee. I think it's Bee Camacho. And I look back at this photo of this art installation that she did once, and it just it came and went. It was really quick, but I I have a screenshot of it and it feeds my soul. And she just like knit herself into she just knits herself slowly. Like it's the performance art of it. She just slowly over days.
Where do you see that, darling? I need to go see that.
Oh my God.
That is brilliant.
I'll find a way to send you the screenshot. It's so funny.
Is it knit or crochet or Bargello? Or okay, it's knit.
So it's just in the end, it's like the stages of her knitting herself into, it's just frames of this installation that she did. And in the end, she's just this long kind of like red wool wiener laying on the ground.
It had to be red.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know what? This podcast is called Choice Words. We didn't talk about choices, and yet we did talk about choices.
Yes, we did. Cashmere. I'm sorry.
We talked.
Sorry, check
nothing.
Assholes.
They understand when something's good. I'll tell you
do.
that.
They really do.
Have good
yes,
taste
they do.
in
yes,
shawls.
they do. Actually, darling, speaking of tech, can I just tell you one really good thing?
Yes.
Which is that I was texting like 3 days ago when the world was just beginning. It was like not even just, it was like sort of right in the middle of all this. I texted Kara Swisher. Who is the smartest person in the world, right?
I love her.
Who doesn't give a shit. Like she really says what she needs to say, right? And they are so scared of her. All those tech giants, they're so scared. And I said to her, honey, what are we going to do? She's like, oh, don't even think about it. I was like, really? And she said, darling, the earth only spins forward and the story is not over. And I was like, oh, could you please be my mother? Like this is what, have you met my mother? This is what my mother needed to tell me growing up. And and you know what? She knows. That woman knows. She lives here. She lives in DC.
She does. Yeah.
And she is in the thick of this and she knows. So if she says the world spins forward, it's not over, vote, the end of the story is in sight, right?
I'm going to put that into my
brain
and
darling.
I'm gonna let that settle me
Do
too.
it.
Well, I hope you have an incredible premiere tonight, and I hope that you can shut out the world and like have that communion with an audience, and you will have that, and it will feel so good.
Yeah.
And you'll be so glad that you were there.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my God, thank you.
You're a darling. You're a darling. This was
have a
great.
Great day and break a leg. That was Isaac Mizrahi, and I had no choice but to look up one thing. We were talking about the monuments of Washington, D.C., and we were each having such menopausal brain fog, neither of us could remember the name of the big obelisk. The best we could come up with was D.C. Phallus. Oh, as soon as we finished recording, I did remember that it is literally the Washington Monument. What is wrong with us? But I did look it up just to make sure. We are definitely getting deported for that. Thanks for joining us. I'm Samantha Bee. See you next week for some more Choice Words. Thank you for listening to Choice Words, which was created by and is hosted by me. The show is produced by Tzvia Baron-Reinstein with editing and additional producing by Josh Richmond. We're distributed by Lemonada Media, and you can find me at RealSamB on X and Instagram. Follow Choice Words wherever you get your podcasts or listen ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership.